Hello, everyone. Welcome into That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer, and we are here with Jesse once again.
Ooh.
That's probably my favorite sound, I think.
Ah, thank you.
That's growing on me. Because you've been doing a lot of different post-verbal sounds.
I just watched a show where this female comedian, she can do a perfect clown horn with her voice.
Stop.
Like a wah, but like the high pitch.
Oh my God.
I'll have to show you later because if I could do a whistle tone or I could do like falsetto, I would just do shit like that.
If you could whistle tone, I would expect you to do Mariah stuff
Every
all the time.
And it'd just always be peaking.
Like you coming into the room and doing the whistle tone.
Yeah.
From Emotions.
Yeah, that'd be my siren song as I enter the room.
We are finishing our discussion of Drag Race UK Season 3 today.
Yes, we have a quadruple sandwich of episodes.
Yeah.
Some of the layers are tastier than others.
You know, I will say I've been loving this mode that we've been going where it's like the first three, the second three, or the first two maybe, second three, last four. Because these seasons have been so short, and usually those last couple episodes don't have a ton of meat and potatoes. It's like butter.
Well, there's always that like top 5, top 4 shitty acting challenge.
Yes. And there's honestly a lot, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself right now, but I'm going to. So we had a double save last week.
Yes.
That was a big part of what we had talked about. There was a double limb and a double save last week. Did you already forget?
Who got saved? Who's the double save last week?
We had. Oh wait, did that happen? That happened this week. Never mind. There's a double save that happens this week.
There was
a double limb last week. Sorry, there's too much Drag Race. There's way too much of it.
And yeah. Later.
So,
later.
There's a limb last week, a double save this week, or
next week,
but in this week's discussion.
Yes.
And I want to probe your brain about, do you think that the double save was, how do I say this? Was it worth it? Or should they have maybe gone in and done a Thailand 2 where they're like, we eliminated too many people too fast. So here's 2 people back. It's like, in my mind, I think, how much of a gag would that have been if they had eliminated rather than do the double save and then been like, all right, we're going to bring back River and Veronica. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think like who would have been the Candy Cyanide. Because I mean, it would have been Veronica because she was so hyped to be there.
Yeah.
And then the Kana would have been River because she was in the bottom bunch. So like, I don't know. Want to know your thoughts.
I mean, I'm happy with the double save because I'm happy that the girls who would have been in the bottom weren't in the bottom that week.
Right.
So it worked out for me, and I was like, you know what? This time I'm a pick and chooser, and like, well, if it benefits my gals, then I'm not mad about it. Yeah, and if it meant that Vanity Milan was safe to be there, next week, then that was a price I was willing to pay.
That's so valid.
I think that it did start to feel kind of like it felt less like there was a master plan because it felt like the double, because it was like, we had someone leave, and then we had a double save, and then we had a double elimination, and then we had another double save.
Right.
So it was like felt like something got lost in the dossier.
Right.
Of like, I don't think obviously Veronica leaving was not on
Victoria. The curse continues.
I was like, I can't believe I got it that time.
Spoiler alert.
I didn't get it.
Podcast is over.
Obviously Hurley wasn't planned, but like it felt like the 2 double saves and the double elimination. I feel like all 3 of those also wouldn't be on the dossier for a season where we didn't have much like that.
Right.
The 2 prior.
Right. So I think we should get into this now. But last week, we did have some confounding, since you've already done it. We've had some confounding problems with the V names.
Yes.
So to complicate things a little bit more, I compiled a list for us.
Oh, God.
Drag Volcano, Virgo Queen, The Vivian, The Vixen, Valentina, Vampirashian, your favorite name.
Vampirashian Scone, of course.
Vanda Miss Scon.
Vanda Miss Scone, please.
Vanda Miss Skonkeem. Skonkeem. Vanity Vane. Venus. Venus Delight. Not Venus from Canada. Vicky Vivacious. Regular Vivacious.
Regular Vivacious.
Victoria Porkchop Parker. Vinegar Strokes. Vivian Vanderpuss. And E.V. Oddly.
Wow.
I put a whole list together. So now we can be even more confused. Vivian Vanderscon.
Oh my God. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
So this week we're going to talk about the next 4 episodes. And so let's hit the pavement, starting with episode 7, which is Miss Fugly Beauty Pageant.
Now, I already told you this is one of my favorite episodes. This is my favorite episode of the season.
It's chaos.
I have such like a profound love for this episode. I think it's so much fun.
I want to know why you love it.
I think it's so like turned Drag Race on its head, and I think
Totally.
I enjoy it because it very much challenges what you expect in a regular Drag Race episode.
Totally.
This is chronologically the first time we get the runway music this early.
Oh, yes.
Because nowadays it's not as big a deal, but because the first couple times we would have a Lollapalooza and stuff, and,
Right.
and it hits the runway in the first like 15 minutes, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But this episode, the fact that happened immediately, the runway hits, you're like, what? What's happening? Like, it felt so disruptive to the format, especially after we're starting to enter fatigue.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like not the most exciting season. So to do something like that was so exciting to me. And then the backstage situation of the second challenge into the thriftiness, the put it all together, and then to close it out with one of the best lip syncs of the season as well, one of my favorite lip syncs. So that's what this episode has it all for me.
It's got all the hits.
Yeah.
It's
got all the
liked
hits.
it. Do you remember when Willem was spouting that they were rushing through this to get to
this
UK?
episode is what Willem says the entire season was like.
Yeah. And I honestly watched this and I was like, maybe Willem wasn't bullshitting.
But this also kind of felt like a meme on that idea because her saying that all season and at the end of but did she just hear, they had a challenge that they did it all in one day. And then she heard that and was like, they did all the challenges in one day. Willem, I know you're listening. Please. I love you. Don't be mad at me. But no, it felt kind of like a funny, a meme on that ongoing discussion.
Yeah.
Of, everyone was already thinking that they were rushing these challenges.
And then
they
happened.
literally have the most rushed challenge.
It was chaos.
It was chaos. I think I loved how much it threw them off too.
Yeah. I want to say that the word fugly is so funny to me.
He's wearing these fugly jeans.
The fugliest. Also, I want to have my moment now to tinfoil hat, if you don't mind.
Put on your fugly tinfoil hat.
I want to do it early. My fuggliest tinfoil hat. It is kind of lopsided. It's crunchy.
Does it have matching tinfoil swimwear? Fugly tinfoil swimwear?
It's an entire bikini bodysuit.
Bikini bottom suit.
Mm-hmm. What Yada Sophia was wearing underneath her Moneyball look. That.
No.
Okay, so in the Rue mail, Rue says she doesn't get cute. She stays drop dead gorgeous. Kitty is Cheryl's group mate. Cheryl is the UK Alyssa Edwards. Kitty lost to Alyssa Edwards in Global All-Stars. Game, set, match. Tick, tack, toe.
You can't see my mouth agape, just staring out into space. I think I got fucked by a ghost.
Oh. Should we move on?
I'm going to let that simmer.
Yeah. All I wanted to say was the Illuminati is in the room with this cast.
Not this room. We're recording this in my bedroom, so I'm like, please no.
The Illuminati
But
is
I'm
certainly
gonna
here.
let that sit in the crock pot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm gonna put it on low.
Let it simmer.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to work, and then when I come back at my end of the shift, I'm gonna take the lid off and see what it smells like.
And you're gonna be like, nah, mama, that's garbage.
That roast ain't roasting.
So our main challenge for this first episode we're talking about for Miss Fugly Pageant is quite interesting. We only have 69 minutes to do the challenge, which like Teehee's 69, and they won't know the categories until minutes before they're going to happen.
I love it.
Do you live?
Yes.
I would be freaking out. Like freaking out. Also, I don't think this is actually 69 minutes because Rue comes into the workroom out of drag and tells them the challenge.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's
It's
no
giving like your 69 minutes starts now. Okay, pause, you're on ice, Your 69 minutes is pause, you're on ice, nobody talk. We're going to move you to
Go get lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your 69 minutes will resume in an hour when we come back from break. Or they're like, okay, pause, your timer's pause. We need to go fix this light. Like, very that.
Yeah.
It was very like, you've never watched Traders, but the challenges they do, because like, obviously they do their trader shit, but during the day, they're doing basically like mini games to accumulate prize pot.
Got it.
All of them are against the clock, and it's always like the edit is always like they seemingly do the last thing within the last 5 seconds.
Right.
And so I've like read this like discussion is like a lot of times they go over the time, etc., but they need to have prize pot for like capital for the game, and like they also just like need stakes. So it's like a lot of times they don't even regard the clock. They're just like they do it within the constraints of when they do it, and then they like add in the like timer.
That's so funny. The only reality show I fully believe is doing that weird timer is like Chopped.
I was gonna say anything on the Food Network.
Yeah.
The Food Network is a race against the clock, and you know because of the final product.
Because it's fugly.
Yeah. No, this is the Chopped of
Oh my God.
Drag Race. Like this episode is the closest thing we've gotten to Chopped.
I would love another episode like this, but maybe like in All Stars. But there's like sabotages too. Like someone comes walking in the room, like they'll get Vanjie to come in and narrate it or something.
Yeah.
Like how they have the Exorcisters and Dragula. And Vanjie would be like, all right, everybody, if you answer this question right, I'm going to give you a sabotage. You can remove somebody's pads.
I would love, okay, here's my concept, pitching it so that the producers listening can use this next season. Take this format, turn it into like the drag baby ball. So it's like a first time in drag look. And then you have to like go raid your drag mother's closet, pick X drag queen that is available to film that day, fill a room with random drag assortments, and it's like, oh, your drag mother is giving you these pieces. Something like that, perhaps.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, also, I forgot to say that Rue says that fugly means friend, you gotta love yourself.
Yeah, I hate it.
I hate that too. Ella says that the category is fugly, so Scarlett can wear her lettuce again. And I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so I really do like this guest judge, I want to say. She was having so much fun.
She was the bee's knees, especially during the lip sync.
Yes.
She gives the energy that I wish more people have. I feel like are intimidated by RuPaul. And she gives that energy. And I think more UK people have it of like, I'm having fun. Like, I don't, like, you're not a big deal. Like, I'm here to play. This is my song.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I knew you when you were nothing.
She was iconic. Didn't she come back for season 6?
Yeah.
Could
queen.
Swear she
Mother
did.
queen. Sister queen. We love her.
So our very first category is fugly swimwear. Our category 2 is charity shop chic, which is like not fugly, I guess, because it's supposed to be
It's
chic.
It's rummaging ugly things to make a chic look.
Yeah. They need 5 items from this charity shop, and charity shop Sue is here. I had a feeling when you said that last week.
Like cue the like Kill Bill siren in
Yes.
Crystal's brain like going off. Like
with the Silent Hill.
She's
siren
having
as
to
well.
like throw on ugly shit in front of the girl she just did a bad impression of.
Can I say something though? After just meeting
Speak.
her on this episode, I'm like, oh, Crystal really got the voice down. I didn't think it was like that off.
I think she was just more like campy.
Totally.
I think Charity Shop Sue is a little more dry.
Totally.
And like Crystal's was a little more like outrageous, but
I like that in Snatch
it still
Game,
was
though.
funny. Okay, do you want to do it girl by girl, or do you want to do like the first category, talk about what happened, next category, talk about what happened?
I thought what we could do is just rate the entire package, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5,
Okay.
and order them. But first, category 3 is fugly but fashionable, and they only had 30 minutes on that one.
Crazy.
That's insane. And final note before we get into these and look at them, Crystal did a new face every single runway.
Crazy.
That was insane.
Well, the
to
fact
me.
that like they had to get ready for that first runway and she chose such a bold makeup, but then also like kept going with that. Like she was like, and maybe I'll take this off, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like the fact that she was able to get that off and then get into her next look, like dang girl.
Yeah. It was nuts. I was very impressed with Crystal this episode and her dedication to her craft. So do we want to rank them in whatever order we feel that they deserve? We'll start with Ella.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and just say, I think a lot of these are kind of boot nasty. I'm going to be so real. I mean, the idea of the swimsuit is that it's supposed to be fugly. And so I get that. It really is so gross. So
the fugly swimmer is atrocious.
Yeah.
This also doesn't even look like swimmer. It just looks like an ugly like drag queen bodysuit.
She looks like she's going to 3 count then donkey kick.
Do you know what's so funny to me? Her charity shop chic is like weirdly chic in a way that like she wouldn't have brought it. Like necessity is like the mother of all invention. And like she like this lavender wig, like it is so like first time at DragCon.
Yes.
But
it's
also,
a little egregious.
like, she is also weirdly selling it for me, and I hate that. She is.
It's the high-waisted belt, I think.
The high-waisted belt that barely matches the wig because they're not at all the same color, but they're the same family. But, like, I'm not going to pretend that it's not cuter than some of the stuff she actually brought.
It kind of is, and that's hateful.
Yeah.
And then the fugly but fashionable
is probably one of the more, like, actually, like, put together things she also brought, which is
really
hilarious to
nice,
me.
kinda.
Like, I don't think there's enough fugly.
No.
Well, because to her, the things that she's calling out as fugly are the things that really don't speak to her drag sensibilities, which are a lot of like, it's a lot of like bar queen things.
Bar queen.
Like, I feel like it's very much a theater queen be like, oh, look at these bar queen things. Like, isn't that silly?
Right.
The only thing that's honestly I don't like is the exposed pink panty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
but
that
like
either.
she looks like freaking Stefani Germanata in the face. I like the color.
She
I
really
like the
does.
ugly like pink and yellow. Like it just works for me.
Somehow
I
it
don't
does.
know. It doesn't make up for the other two, but like
But
actually,
isn't the point to be fugly? Like, I don't think they're supposed to look good. I think they're supposed to, in my opinion, I would think this has got to be the most busted queen.
this is like in Toot It or Boot It when it was season 7 and it was the ugliest dress and it was like, well, we should boot it because it was ugly. So they were like, and they like kept going back and forth between like booting the ugly ones or tooting them because they did good at being ugly. And they're like, no, it's ugly. We should boot it. Like, I'm having this inner crisis because it's like, because like it's fugly but fashionable.
Yeah.
And then like, but fugly swimmer is just fugly swimmer. So it should just be fugly swimmer. So should I penalize her for wearing fugly swimmer? Because it is.
Yeah. And like, I mean, for the swimwear look, she meant the category. For the charity shop, it's supposed to look like first time in a bar, first time in DragCon. She met that critique. And then this is oddly very fashionable while also being ugly. Like, it's really good.
It's really good. If I liked the swimwear look more, I'd rate her higher, but I'm going to give her third.
Okay. Like full middle safe. Because I was going to give her second. See, and now you're in a precarious situation because you love being nicer than me.
No, I'm putting her third.
Okay.
I'm going to stand on business because I already know what I want. I know what I want.
Okay. Then we've got Kitty's got claws, but no badges. I think this does not look like swimwear. It looks like something that Jinx wore to walk in the workroom.
It
like
is.
It looks just like nightwear.
Yeah, it's giving more nightwear. Yeah, it's more dance costume turned nightwear.
The charity shop
It's
is
fugly.
really cute. It's
I enjoy that, like, it's not like disgusting, like and like impossible to look at like Ella's is. It's more so like tacky,
right?
And then she styled herself very tacky and like fugly. I think she like understood what she was supposed to be doing, because I feel like she also took fugly as like a character.
She was doing Bag of Chips.
Well, Bag of Chips wasn't playing a character when she was fugly, so I'm sorry. Edit that out. Edit that out.
I like the charity shop look a lot. She looks like a librarian.
She looks like a librarian in like a city that Detox runs.
Yes. Why is that so true?
Yeah.
I hate the shoes though. Like those definitely belong in the charity shop.
Okay, well, I think she added the tool because it's in her wrist. Like she made like a little tool boutonniere corsage.
I don't think
she made that little like tool corsage. So I feel like she added the ballet slipper ties with that tool as well to that flat. If I had to make a guess, because
that tool.
Oh, that tool fabric. Yeah,
it's fine to me.
It's fine. It is also like. It's kind of giving.
You think? I mean, this is one of the best things.
It's giving like like a party girl like trying to like dress like professional, but it's like kind of like ridiculously tacky and like not work professional. But like this is like a Jersey party girl,
completely,
who like lives in like strappy neon, and then she's like, I just got a job.
And she loves to have fun.
Yeah, so she goes to her favorite boutique in Miami.
It's a Claire's.
Yeah. She goes to a Claire's in Miami and gets these pieces and assembles them as such.
Miami is crazy.
Miami.
What do you think about her fugly but fashionable look?
Major slay.
You think?
You don't think?
No, I don't think. It's more fugly than fashionable to me.
Well, that's tea. There's not a lot of fashion no. It's not very fashionable. So her and Ella need to meet in the middle.
Yeah. You know what her look is giving to me? If the middle look is the one that everybody sees and like the happy-go-lucky girl, the third look is that happy-go-lucky fun girl who shops in Miami, invites you over to her house, and she opens the door and looks like this. And it's that classic like 90s sitcom thing where it's like, oh, how do you look different? She's like, what? This is what I look like all the time. What do you mean? This is my look.
This is also one of the episodes where she's really giving me Barbara Jean.
She literally looks just like the bitch.
She is like the British Barbara Jean of drag.
Yes.
And like this episode, she's like maximum Barbara Jean.
Barbara Jean intensifies.
Yeah.
So where do you put this? I feel like it's your number one.
No, so it was, but then after we chat about more, it's my number 2.
Okay, she's my number 3. I thought it was very safe.
Yeah, I think that she committed to fugly in a more fearless way than anyone else in the group did. And I think that's what gave her the edge in terms of the win. Is I think a lot of them wanted to still be cute, wanted to still be fashion, wanted to still be cunty. Totally. And I think that her comedy really worked to her advantage of like, well, I can't necessarily nail the fashionable, but I can nail the fugly.
Right. And it can present a character.
And it was kind of to her advantage because everyone tried to go for more fashion that she was like, I'm going to just be fugly.
Totally. I get that. I think I understand why she won. But then we'll talk about Crystal. Fugly swimwear. I mean, this is a cool look.
I mean, I guess it is the most swimwear we've seen of the 3 so far. It is basically like a one piece with like water things. It's cute. It's the quirky girl's approach to swimwear.
I kind of love it. It might not totally be swimwear, but I'm obsessed with the fact that she did all of that in that amount of time. And then you look at some of the other girls and they look like they got dressed with the lights off. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, like even her makeup looks like it would have taken the time that their entire get ready time would have been.
And like it showed her getting ready, and I know there's a lot of edits, but she would like open the compact and start just slamming that makeup brush in there, and then would swoop it on, and it was just perfect within 2 seconds.
I will say it does speak to like her proficiency because again, like being so young, a lot of the young girls take a while. Mm-hmm. They take a while to not do much.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she is so like she was so quick to know what she needed to do to get that look together. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are corners that she cut, but we don't know what those are.
Right.
And then like going into her next look, because like she was a big part of the edit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Crystal can't get it together. Like she's running behind. Like she's not going to do it. I think that she handled it like such a drag queen.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, no, I'm just going to throw this on. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's like, oh my God, like she's not ready, she's not dressed, and she's like, no, like I'm just gonna like get this on, like I'll be out.
Yeah.
And like, it was really like, it was very like minimal.
Yeah.
But like she had the eye to just like grab like 5 things, those 5 small things,
that
put them together and just make a very clean look, and then like kind of adapt that character she did to it with that bob and like being, as RuPaul called her, a tart.
This was such a good look. Her whole edit this episode was like your friend who's always late, and you're like, okay, we have to leave in 10 minutes. And like, great, I'm going to shower.
Oh my God.
And you think, we have to leave in 10. And they're like, yeah, I'll be fine. And they pop out 6 minutes later and they're like, I'm just going to do my makeup and my hair real quick. You know, that was her whole edit this whole episode. I love her charity shop look.
It's very clean and like, I honestly think the latter, her and the next 2 girls honestly did the charity shop more successfully than the first 2 girls.
Right.
The first 2 really kept the fugly in mind with this. Whereas totally. I think Crystal kind of met in the middle where it is like, it's a little trashy, a little like, but she's very chic and cute at the same time with it.
Right.
And then I feel like Scarlett and Vanity both try to be cute.
Yeah.
And like go for their vibe. So I feel like that's so hateful. They're all young. I almost said the younger girls. As if I'm like drawing a line in the sand between them and Ella and Kitty.
Ella and Kitty are only like Kitty, 29.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, those are the old bitches in the room.
This is what happens when we don't cast anyone older than like 30. It's
right.
like we start being ageist against people our own age.
I love her fashionable look. This is so cool.
Yeah, this is so gorge. How fugly do you think it is?
I don't really think it's fugly at all.
Yeah.
This is like when Violet was wearing the ugliest dress ever, and it was that rainbow that wasn't actually ugly, or like Fame, I should say. Like they weren't actually ugly. They were just like bold colors and patterns, but they were really fashionable.
Yeah. She has like, I feel like some of the like random like touches, like the googly eye boot and stuff, it kind of makes it a little more like not as serious and I guess quote unquote fugly, but like not even fugly. The hair is fugly, the like multicolored poodle hair.
Right. But this is hot.
Scarlett's joke about her looking like Anubis that she was like trying to like get out through her grill.
She was so upset about
like,
that
Anubis.
Too. She was so mad. She's like, girl, you know what that means.
I'm like, what?
You can't say that. Was it because Anubis was out first and she's like, oh, well, you're the next out, bitch? Is that how she interpreted that?
I didn't understand.
Where would you put Crystal?
1.
She's my number 1 as well.
She would have been my 2, but then once you kind of talked me through Kitty's a little bit more, I was like, you know what? Maybe Crystal really was that girl. And I do stand by what I said is like, I think she showed a very fascinating proficiency of drag at a young age.
Yeah.
And this challenge as well with her quick resourcefulness and ability to still deliver what she's selling, but like within the constraints.
100%.
And not just be like, she can only deliver that with 2 hours on Instagram. Like she can deliver it in 45 minutes in real time.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's impressive.
And a new face too. That last one was also
New
new face. In
face.
30 minutes. New face, new crystal. Then we've got your personal bias, I feel like. I feel like you really love Scarlett.
Who told you that?
Is it not true? I feel like you like more like...
Is it because... No, I'm a fierce apologist of that camp look she sewed.
Oh, and her
that
gooning.
plaid Marsha Brady. Oh, and her gooning over her red Hollywood glamour. Yeah, I love her gooning, and I love her Marsha Brady plaid glamour because that did work me out. And then I just kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to be hateful.
So fair. Okay, well.
So you can continue to speak freely, and I'm not going to get upset at you. I just love that Marsha Brady girl. I know. I still think about that look. I adore it.
Yeah. Her fugly look is really rotten. That's the most fugly.
Oh, the swimwear?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she looks crazy with the gray hair.
It's insane. I thought it was a water cap at first.
Was it not?
I don't think so. Oh no, maybe there is.
I don't know. But then the tits?
It's crazy. Charity shop chic, I think.
I like this. I think this
lot.
is hot.
This looks like an entrance look.
It looks like an entrance look for season 2.
Yes. I think they'd walk in and be like, I'm vegan.
Please.
Sorry, Bimini.
She looks like I don't know, she looks like the like main character or the best friend in like a 90s rom-com.
Oh, what's her name from Sex and the City? The one with that was in Hocus Pocus. She's got
Sarah
three names.
Michelle. Nope.
Not
Sarah
Sarah
Jessica Parker.
Jessica Parker.
Not
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
God damn it.
And then her fugly but fashionable. I love the look so much. My confusion was why she just left the baby on the ground. It was just like, all right, bye, baby.
Okay, didn't need the baby. I would have swapped the baby for like a shopping bag or like a purse.
A big
like,
purse.
Something that was more like kind of like she's a girl out and about in the town. Like she's running errands or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I could have done without the grill.
Yeah, I thought that
when
was
she was
fun.
talking with that, I was like, I'm starting to get like my armpits are getting sweaty.
Uncomfortable sweats.
Yeah.
I feel that. Where would you put her? I know that you love Venus Veronica Vivacious Vanity Milan.
I'll put her 5th.
Okay.
Because I do think the fugly swimwear look is super atrocious, and so is Vanity's, but that kind of cancels it out in that case. I really do like her charity shop chic look, but I mean, it's just a black dress.
Yeah.
And then I actually do quite like her fugly but fashionable look. I think that she actually was one of the more successful meet in the middles.
I would agree.
But I didn't like the presentation of the look.
That's what a lot of it was.
With the doll. I think it could have been accessorized differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of styling choices that I think could have been improved upon. She's my number 4.
Okay. And you know what I still will say? Is I think she honestly did better this week when she went home than other weeks where she was safe or not in the bottom.
Totally.
And so it's kind of funny because it's like, I do think it was the right time for her. But I was like, she honestly didn't do that bad this episode.
No. That's
even in the lip sync, she was keeping up. Like, obviously, she would no chance of winning, but she was like giving a pretty strong performance. She was fast. She was keeping up. But like, I don't know. I do appreciate her efforts this episode because it's one of those bummers when it's like, you could have like justifiably gone home so many times.
Yeah.
And now it is like writings on the wall, but like, you didn't do that bad, so don't be too harsh on yourself.
Then we've got Vanity.
Okay, now I will say. Okay, but then she did it because I'm like, this swimwear is awful.
It's really awful.
It's swimwear.
Yeah.
This is a one-piece bathing suit, and it is fugly
as fuck.
I like that it kind of feels like a through line as well to her last look.
Totally.
And it's very much fugly through like textures, bulk. But then also it's very much like connecting it to a certain like that quilted and like those like puffer fabrics are like very like prevalent to like Black culture and stuff. So she's like finding a way to like also take things from the Black perspective and make it fugly, which is cool to see.
Yeah, totally.
Than just like everyone else is just like kind of tacky white campy fugly,
Mm-hmm.
where she's like, oh no, like here's kind of like things that like I like, but then this is the fugly like fitting the challenge interpretation of it. I appreciate that. This is so gross though.
It's really disgusting.
But then it's like, again, this is what I'm talking about where I'm like, do I boot it because it's bad? But like, am I doing it because she's doing the challenge? Because like, it's so fugly, but it actually fits well for a quilted. Mm-hmm. It's so confusing. It's so gross. It's so atrocious.
It's the right idea for the prompt, but for me, I think it's over stylized in the wrong way. Like
you don't like the sparkle glove and the like Jocelyn Fox necklace with this.
Okay, Jocelyn Fox is everything. First off, her necklace that she recycled 5 times is no problem for me. Yeah, no, I think
this like cabaret glove.
It's very cabaret.
It's so weird. Like, she didn't need to put on accessories.
No,
she didn't need gloves or a necklace, and she was like, "Yeah, I need these."
If she was gonna wear anything at all, she should have had a big ass pearl necklace, like giant, chunky. I Love Lucy pearls, you know, those big ass costume ones that people wear. And then maybe like a fat diamond, like just a huge costume diamond to be like a 1940s glam woman going to the pool to like not get in, but just to lay there, you know?
So, okay, here's the fantasy. Mm-hmm. She's doing a Rihanna mix. She couldn't decide if she wanted to do Ponda Replay or Love on the Brain. So we have a Ponda Replay outfit and we have Love on the Brain accessories.
So Pondery Brain?
Pondery Brain. Pondery Brain.
Pondery Brain, baby. Yeah, the styling was the problem here, in my opinion. Because I think if it had just been the swimsuit and that cap that she's got on, with the hair and maybe some pearls, she would have looked sickening.
It's California Girls and The One That Got Away.
Oh my god.
It's A Million Reasons and Love Game. Like
too many references.
She's fighting crime in Gotham and she's also going to her husband's funeral. I don't know.
She's fighting crimes in different cities. Multiple. And then the second one, the charity shop look. I really love her in orange.
Yes.
She uses it a lot this season.
A lot of orange.
But I don't mind at the same time because they never got on Raja for wearing purple.
No.
1 season ago.
No.
They praised it at one point. Michelle's like, so you've been wearing a lot of purple and I love that. That's your brand. And then they tell Vanity, so you've been wearing a lot of orange. You should mix it up. I'm like, what?
She's like, it's my color. It looks good on me.
Yeah. She looks great in it.
The only thing I don't love is the wig.
You know, like this Nene Leakes wig?
It is so Nene Leakes.
It's really ugly. I don't like the glove or the wig.
It's honestly, this is like such a Real Housewives of Atlanta look because orange is also like one of the main Atlanta colors because they're peaches.
Oh, okay.
This is honestly so Nene Leakes down. It's crazy.
It is. Like if she were going to an ugly costume party.
This is like.
What is it like?
I'm just thrown off by the horseshoe belt.
Yes, I was going to mention this cowboy belt that she's got on that doesn't make any sense.
Because I was about to say where she's going, but then I'm like, I don't know where she's going because why did she put on that horseshoe belt?
Cut it off at the top half and she's going to the Clue Mansion. She's about to go find out who done it. From the bottom half, she's about to go to a rodeo.
You know that girl that like was trying to get office appropriate that in Kitty's outfit?
Uh-huh.
This is her going to a saloon party. This is a saloon party in New Jersey.
This is dumb. I want to go to that party if she's going there, though.
I don't know if I like that jet black glove either.
No, the glove is my biggest problem. It's
cut
so
off
distracting.
by like the like darker orange bracelet.
The scrunchy.
Yeah, kind of sus.
Yeah,
but the dress itself is hot on her.
Oh yeah,
she could have just. Cut. I mean, okay, how to get 5 accessories? Get it? She could have came out in that dress, no accessories, and a bald cap, and I would have been like, wow, she's gorgeous.
Imagine a big bow on top of this.
Just a huge bow,
like a big Sia bow. Take off the glove and just do a big ass bow on top. She'd look like a pop star.
Yeah, keep that wig just with something. That's what she needs, something on the head. You're so right.
And then she needed to remove that belt and maybe do like a little tiny belt.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit too big. So in this last look, I'm going to be so honest. I love the silhouette. I think the material for this is fugly as shit.
Yeah.
It's the underside of a couch. And this is my favorite of the fugly but fashionable looks.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I think she really went for a moment, and she's going for like a fashionable, like last look on a runway collection.
This is like fashion student doing their first piece, and they're like so proud of it, but they don't really understand, and so it's ugly. But the idea is there, and it's like that could be really chic if it was in another fabric.
Yeah,
like first out on Project Runway.
And so like I said with the first one, I like how she really like centered it first in like the fabric choice for fugly beyond like a color or something, like the quilted fabric and then like this like puffer fabric. Like such an interesting choice to like think like texturally about fugly. And it is like, it's like a cool like big dress moment, but then it isn't this like crazy fabric. I think it's a fun choice. I really like this for her.
It's my favorite, but it is unfortunately fifth for me because like fourth. Where did I put the other one?
You put Scarlet fourth, so I was assuming this was fifth.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, this is my fourth. I think it is still a strong showing.
It's really strong, but I mean, at this point, everybody's doing well. Yeah. So how do you objectively say what's the worst? It's so difficult.
Isn't it crazy that no one like tremendously flopped a challenge like this?
I'm
like
gagged.
No one dropped the ball.
What does that say about their fashion taste, though, that they did well in a fugly ball?
That's what I'm saying is like necessity is a mother of invention, because they like really just didn't overthink or like, okay, I'm throwing these things on, and it looked like something they could have brought.
Yeah. So then Rue asks everyone who their favorite was, and they all say each other, and it keeps flashing to Crystal like looking gagged. She's like, what do you mean no one picked me? I just don't understand. She's called Anubis and like loses her shit. Kitty's called the winner of the week, and I think I understand.
I mean, also in light of everything, it does make sense.
Right. And then Ella and Crystal in the exact same breath are called safe.
Yeah.
I love when Rue does that. I'm not going to lie. Ella, Crystal, Kitty, step forward. You're all safe. The two of you are lip syncing. I love that shit. She did that in season 5, where it was like, Monica and Serena, please step forward. All the rest of you are safe. It's such a gag.
So ridiculous.
It's such a gag.
I love it.
And that leaves Vander Von Odd and Scarlett Bobo to lip sync to Scandalous by Mystique. I just wanted to confuse you.
I'm having another stroke. Why would you do this to me?
I'm so sorry.
Mystique was a mistake.
Vanity strips to this like chain bodysuit, which Miss Girl was losing her shit. This judge
she was
shit.
Loving it.
She was like singing along like she was like 4 mimosas in at brunch.
Yes,
like she was having a good time.
I loved it. This was I did not know the group Mystique, nor did I know her. Alicia Dixon, being a member of Mystique.
So many girl group judges this season.
Yeah, but I just love that she was like having the time of her life singing, and then doing the MCs at the end, like, yes, are you feeling the vibe? Like, it was so. That's also what makes it one of my favorite lip syncs. Is like I've yet to see someone be as invested as they are, like,
right?
Because she's like cheering on clearly Vanity. I mean, I think she's loving Scarlett, like also giving it, but I think she was really like here for like what Vanity was doing. But then like her like emceeing to the song and like ad-libbing, standing up, like
looking at RuPaul like, why aren't you standing up?
I know, like, why are you not like living? Like, why are you just staring? Like, girl, she was everything.
She was so fun. I loved her. She was the tolerable end of that one judge who was like, yeah.
Joel McHale?
She was like on, if there's 2 ends of people on Drag Race who are just having a good time and one of them is so annoying, it's him. And if there's one who's like, you need to come back every episode and just live, it's her. Miss Girl was living.
She's mother.
She was. Scarlett is officially and finally out, drops her baby on the floor and says, "You ain't my mother."
Yes, I am.
Do you think the person in Rue's ear was like, "That's that quote that you like, Rue. Say it again." Yes, I am. Because she had like a full beat where she just like was giggling. It was like whoever was in her ear was like, "That's the line."
Laughing, listening to them talk to her. And
Yes.
she's like, oh, yes. Okay, let me give the line.
So then we move into episode 8, Bra Wars. The Vampire
Yes.
Strikes Back, which there's only a couple highlights. I don't have a lot to say about this. Kitty gets to assign the roles since she won last week. And I feel like she was kind of annoying, like this whole episode. Because she says in her confessional that she wants to give everyone roles that they don't want. And then she like makes them do auditions. She like puts on that fuck ass bag of wig and then sits down in that chair and like makes everyone audition and then gives everyone roles that they didn't ask for because she's like trying to screw them over, like Ellie Diamond.
Is this I guess a precursor to her versus the world era or global, because because this is what happens with a win.
Mm-hmm.
She gets positive reinforcement. She turns into a gremlin.
Totally. Don't give her more wins. She'll keep growing.
Yeah.
Completely. She gives herself the main role, which I thought she was quite enjoyable and interesting in
and you're also allowed to. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. She gives Ella Darth Shader, which she was so good. Ella was everything. Vanity is given baby YOLO. Hated the character, but I loved what Vanity did with it. Like,
she made it tolerable.
Most of the baby roles are so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Who was that one that did it? It was Nikki, right? They had another
French
baby role. The French baby. And then Crystal was given She 3PO. And my favorite part of it was that Michelle like mothered her harder than she's ever mothered anyone in her life. Like most of the time, like we just saw her do this with Kylie, where she's like, "Why aren't you connecting with this? Let me help you. This is how you do it. This is how you be fierce. Do it." Where with Crystal, she's like, "What's wrong? Why are you feeling this way? Let's work through that." Okay.
Yeah, major mothering.
Don't worry. You are great and you're going to be wonderful. Get up there and do it, kiddo. Crystal does it and she's like, "I'm so proud of you." It's like, damn, I've never seen her do that ever. For anyone.
Yeah, no, she was invested.
She really was. This whole challenge was weird. It was like Spaceballs, Alien, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Valentina.
The season 3 space challenge. It felt like a direct like sequel to that, strangely. Like, I can't
Prepare
describe
to
it.
die.
Yeah. Okay, do you know what I will say about this challenge? Ella Day genuinely made me laugh.
She was so funny.
When she dragged her hands up that bodysuit and it was like shaking and like the high-pitched squeal of it.
Yes.
It was so crazy.
It was so
like her
funny.
physical comedy this episode was actually so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did slay it hard. I was dying hard at her. I was like, not because the thing is like the script wasn't funny. She was funny. And it's like, but those were the best ones when it's like they just were funny with what they were doing.
Yeah. It's so funny how much of a Bimini storyline she has. Because, like, the first half of the season, she was doing fine. Like, she wasn't doing bad, but she was fine. Then Snatch Game rolls around, and it's just, like, full speed ahead from that point. Because then, like, she does really well in the last challenge. And then she freaking kills this acting challenge. And it's like, you are doing that. And also, she, like, killed the singing challenge, too. Like, she has an almost identical route to Bimini. And I think that's wild because she ends up with 4 badges at the end and doesn't win.
A lot of people say, we'll get to it. A lot of people say she biffs the last episode.
I didn't feel that way, but we'll get there soon. The runway is scene stealers. I love this concept.
This was a really good runway.
I would have loved this early.
Oh, I know, when you had everyone. Because, there was a lot of good unaired runways for this episode, too.
Completely. I wish that they would do this more often. I like the idea of taking a character from a movie and redoing it. I did not like that Oompa Loompa, though.
What? What?
Oh, what? I can't believe that you didn't like it. No, I didn't like it.
The fashion Oompa Loompa.
No. But I did love Crystal's Cruella. And I loved that green eyeshadow because it was such a nice touch, such a good detail.
Yes, Crystal's was definitely my favorite. For me, I think it would go Crystal, Kitty.
Oh, yeah, Kitty's was nice.
Vanity.
And then Ella at the end.
I just can't condone.
I can't condone that.
Oompa Loompery.
Sexy Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
With the titties and everything. It was nuts.
And then her doing that lip sync when she like kept doing the move where she was like, she had the arms. Like
the squiggly arms.
Yeah, the squiggly like hula arms.
So this was interesting. I was so gagged because Rue calls two of them safe. Vanity, I almost said something else. I almost said Vander. Calls Vanity and Crystal safe. And we've got Kitty and Ella standing on the stage confused as fuck. And even I was confused. I'm like, what?
Confused, gagged, and gooped.
Another lip sync for the win. That's so wild.
Especially when like Ella was the clear winner of this for me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like you two were both so great. It was just like, oh, we don't want those two to be in the bottom.
Right. We don't want to get rid of them yet because they probably thought Crystal would go. I don't think anybody knew what she was going to do lip sync wise. And I think she would have turned it, honestly. But yeah, the thing is, I want to know, why didn't they just bring someone back? At least one person.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because, like, it doesn't seem like it was necessary.
Yeah, it was weird. And also it creates a sense of fatigue going into the penultimate episode to have a non-elimination.
It's like they obviously ordered a certain amount of episodes and realized they didn't have the cast size for it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, if there wasn't a writer that could have gone in and written in a fifth role for this, or if they just thought it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
If someone had come back, who would you have brought in to come and do this? Because I would have brought in Choriza.
I mean, my first thought is Charity because I feel like she got it short end of the stick, but then also Veronica. So probably one of them.
Okay.
Charity or Veronica.
That's so valid. I would have loved to have seen Charity back. But I mean,
I don't think it would have happened.
I don't think it would have gone well with an acting challenge.
No.
Choriza, I think, would have done well. I don't know how Veronica would have done, considering that one morning talk show they had to do.
Girl, rough.
I think maybe she would have flopped.
That was rough.
So they have to do something new by Girls Aloud. And you know what? Kitty was living.
Go.
She was getting her
Take
just.
control. Yeah, she knew that song so good.
She was so excited. But they were both like really meh.
Yeah, it was because I don't think either of them thought they were going to lip sync. They were super confident. In Untucked, they were kind of goading
Vanity and Crystal. They're like, you're about to go. Bye.
Yeah, like they were like kind of like in their faces about like because they knew that they weren't going to be in the bottom.
Right.
But they didn't know that the bottom wasn't going to lip sync.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Then we move into the episode 9, the Pearly Gates roast. And I'm like, how are there still challenges?
And also a roast with only 4 feels kind of weird, does it not?
It's strange.
A roast for the semifinal.
They could have done this last week and brought someone back and then done the acting challenge for the end.
Oh.
Could have easily swapped those. Because if they didn't have a writer to write a 5th character, they should have just done the roast this week, in my opinion.
True.
Crystal is sick. And I really thought the like COVID trauma was so fascinating because she's like, I'm not feeling good. And they're all like,
yeah, like, get away from me.
Because if she had COVID, they'd all have it.
Right. And like also she wouldn't be there if she had COVID.
Right.
Like they would have hurried her away into like a dark room and like sprayed her down.
I feel like at this point, they're all probably thinking like, oh my God, if she gets out of the competition because she's ill. It was like Brenda in Scary Movie, like, die, bitch, please die.
Yeah, don't sleep. Don't drink any fluids. No, you're fine.
Burn yourself out. They have to repent for their sins by roasting themselves, but also the judges and some of the eliminated queens. This was kind of crazy. But I love that they brought in the eliminated queens rather than like puppets and shit like last season.
Yeah.
Because that was awful.
Yeah.
So Ella gets to assign the roles because she's got the most badges. She puts herself Oh, she puts Crystal at the start, right? And then Vanity, then Kitty. No, wait, hold on. Yes. Crystal, Ella, Vanity, Kitty. Yes. And she specifically put herself in that second spot so that she would look better, which is smart. It's like very Ellie Diamond coded. Ellie Vadiamond. Ellie Diamond. It was very that coded, but without telling them that's what she was doing.
Do you know what I'll say, though? I think for her, this is what I'll say. She was very strategic for herself and her, because I think second, great place to go.
Totally.
Who would you want? She wouldn't want to go after Kitty. She wouldn't want Kitty to go after her.
Right.
So she has to have a buffer between her and Kitty.
Right.
So it's just a matter of putting Crystal and Vanity in the first spot. And I honestly think Crystal is a better opener.
Totally.
So I think that for her, it's the best lineup she can do for her game.
Yes.
I think a better lineup would have had probably Ella and Kitty. Ella and Kitty as the closers and openers. Probably Kitty opening, Ella closing. In my opinion.
That could have been good too.
I think the best lineup would have been Crystal, Vanity. Nope. I already said it wrong. Would have been Kitty, Vanity, Crystal, Ella.
Yes. I would have liked that lineup too. But I think she was smart. Crystal had some like pretty decent jokes. I think she started out kind of rocky and then got a little worse and then got better and then got worse.
She started out kind of rocky, but then she got worse.
And it kept getting worse. I think her one good thing was educating Michelle about what a virgin was. And I almost kind of wish she had been like, Michelle, so a virgin is someone that's never gotten on their knees at like 3 or 15 guys at a party all at once, and they drop more loads in you than a coin-op laundry machine, and simultaneously getting fisted. I think that could have been really funny. And then she was just like, I'm like,
oh, okay. You're like, that too.
It was really hard to watch, TBH. That leaf is dying.
I'm trying to pull a leaf off of one of my plants with my foot.
Why don't you just snip it?
She'll come off. It's a natural plan.
Then Ella, she starts it out by saying, hello, she, he's, theys, and Michelle Visage.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. She roasted the fuck out of Anubis, saying that she was on a bus on week 1.
So good.
And then she says, Rue, you said to stop being predictable. And then Kitty won a challenge about being fugly.
Hateful.
It was so hateful.
No, she did so good.
Crystal, if I ever need a brain transplant, I'm going to pick yours because it's never been used.
She's one of those people where it's like, I don't feel like her confessionals are super funny.
No.
And, like, she's super, like, funny, like, in the workroom.
Yeah.
But anytime they, like, put a mic to her and she needs to be funny, she's super funny on command.
Yes.
Which is funny because that's the opposite of a lot of other really, like, lovable queens where they are so funny in the workroom, in the confessionals, off the cuff.
Yes.
But when they need to be strategically funny or, like, planned funny, scripted funny, they like can't do it.
Alyssa is a really good example of that. Someone who's so naturally funny everywhere but cannot deliver that in a challenge.
And like Ella's like, she's naturally like charming, but like it's just fascinating that like when demanded, she can just be funny like on command.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
She's so funny. Vanity was like just talking. Like just a lot of talking.
She was just shooting the shit with them.
And then she like turns into Trinity K. Bonet and goes, look, you over here looking like the green person.
Yeah, I did want to die.
I did too.
I did want to die, but love the free promo for Wicked.
Yes. 3 years previous. And then Kitty was not funny either. She just like said stuff in a cadence. And I don't remember anything.
Funny queen you think is going to slay a roast and then they don't.
I fully thought like, oh, Lauren Chaney. I'm like, you're going to be hilarious.
Especially because she's so mean.
You're right.
That's hateful.
No, she is. At this point in the competition, she's like being really haughty and kind of mean to everyone. I thought she'd be great and she wasn't. The runway category was Oh My Goddess. I don't know if it really made sense with this challenge, but I liked it.
Well, because it was like kind of like a devil and angel idea, but like why didn't they just do the angel thing like they did in All Stars?
Yeah.
But
Or
then they
do
went-
that 2 looks in 1 that they did in Holland too, which was really fun. That could have been cool. Did you have any standouts of these people? These people. These
These
queens.
people.
Yeah, these people.
Not
these
I like
queens.
the 2 gold looks
Okay.
the most. Crystal's is my favorite.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Vanity was mine.
Okay.
I love everything about it. See, Crystal looks a little bit like C3PO again, but I love the top half.
It's C3PO does like Hela from Thor or like the Enchantress. But yeah, the 2 golds. I like
Yeah.
I like the 2 golds more than the 2 Grecians.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really a huge fan of the Grecians.
Well, Ella's isn't even Grecian. I just don't like Ella's.
I don't like it
I
at
love
all.
the idea of a constellation bodysuit if that's what she was doing, but then like it looks so aquatic.
It does.
And I hate that blue hair.
I don't like it either. It should have been like an updo.
And then Kitty just looks like a muse in like Hercules or something. Like it's not goddessy enough for me.
Good to see.
Good to see.
But it's like 2 looks that were slapped together that weren't necessarily arranged that way. That's what it
pink and
looks like.
gold.
Yeah, they don't seem to go with each other.
I feel like also if she had had like a harp or like a bow or like something like an item to connect it to some like goddess iconography that could have helped. I don't know. But yeah, I like the 2 gold looks more, and for me it's Crystal.
That's
just because
so
I
fair.
love the gold with that like chocolate brown velvet she did, and I love the headpiece and the like
It's
brow
almost
makeup
like
thing she did.
like futuristic.
Yeah, it's like futuristic alien kind of goddess. I think that's also what I like about it is it's like it doesn't really feel like it's grounded in like any sort of like religious goddess or like
Totally.
historical goddess. It's more like, yeah.
See, and that's why I really love Vanities too. It almost is like a Doctor Who futuristic goddess.
Period.
Like it looks like the Doctor would be like going on a ship, and then he'd meet someone who's the queen, who's worshipped as a god of the area. You know, like she looks so beautiful, so glam. I love the headpiece. Love this. I think that's chiffon. Love that. She looks great to me.
Yeah, they killed it.
Absolutely killed it. This was quite a fun runway, but I don't know if I necessarily linked it with this particular challenge.
Nor.
And for the first time ever, they all get video messages from family.
Yes, kind of like random, huh?
It was like, we need to fill time. Send them video messages.
Yeah, right. It's like there's only so many of you. We need something else.
I wonder if this happens every season during the finale, but they just don't show it for time. Like,
Could you imagine if they like every season they show them their family, but they're like, you didn't cry enough. We're just not going to show it. Like they didn't have an emotional reaction. Like we'll just skip this.
they were
this
just
season.
smiling.
Yeah, they just were like happy to see him. That's all.
Then we get to our runway again. Ella is called the winner of the challenge. I agreed with that.
Yeah,
I thought that was correct.
Ella a win.
Ella a win. And Crystal and Vanity have to lip sync to Hallucinate. I've told you that I love this song, and you told me to wait because it was coming.
Yes.
And I've been waiting. Every week I'm like, when is Vanity going to lip sync to Hallucinate? There's no way she's going to keep making it. And then she didn't get eliminated. And I'm like, where's Hallucinate? I can't believe she hasn't gone home yet. I wasn't rooting for her to go home, but I was gagged.
And was she worth the
She
wait?
killed me. I died. But also, Crystal killed me too.
They both did so good.
They slayed.
They both did so good. Crystal also, more unexpectedly.
Yes.
That jump middle split.
I was really surprised that she knew how to perform because I expect the fashion girls to hit a wall and then punch their palm of their hand. You know exactly what I'm referencing.
I hate that I do.
Yeah. I always expect that. I'm
Then
like,
I
hit a wall.
And then I think of Demi Lovato's like smiley face going like
And then Pearl like, boom.
like she's like smiling while like biting her tongue.
waiting for it to be done, like looking at our watch, like, is this almost up? Rue, can we tell them to wrap it up, please?
Yeah.
I always expect that from them. I just knocked something. I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't. It just
didn't
shifted. She's fine.
I was gagged that she performed so well.
So well, and like, I mean, I did say in the first episode, like, I think she's a good like facial performer as well. Like, she's good at like giving the drama, and like she like took advantage of like the slow building moments of the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
But then also like she's a good dancer.
Yeah. I think earlier in this episode, Vanity brings up a problem that I've had all season that I've personally had. She is the only Black contestant this season.
Crazy.
That's nuts. And that kind of made me feel a certain way. And I guess my confusion is, I know that she lip synced a bunch of times, but why didn't they just push her through to the next episode to leave it at a top 4?
Yeah, right.
Because it was very Caucasian.
It was very
at
Caucasian. I believe it was Taste talked about it either this season or in the season after, where she's like, it's not that there aren't Black queens, but the standard expected of Drag Race girls isn't it, like, this isn't in her words, but like she's basically saying like it just isn't realistic for what is available to queens of color in their communities because of what isn't given to them, but what is expected of them to give.
That makes
so
sense.
It's like, why go on a global platform when it's like, you know what you have and you know what you're able to give, and they think that you somehow need to do more than that.
Right. Because POC always have to work 10 times harder than their white counterparts.
Yeah.
And we see that here in the States, in drag especially, but I can only imagine in the UK, it's probably just as bad, because I mean, I'm sure they're aware of systemic racism, but I can't imagine it's talked about in the same way that we have so much more accountability here.
And also, like, touching on, I think they touched on, like, there's kind of the idea of the machine of like, to prepare for Drag Race, to get the expensive things, to get the looks, you have to get the consistent bookings. To get the consistent bookings, you have to be the liked girls. To be the liked girls, you're usually, finish the sentence. So it is also kind of like a cycle that perpetuates the machine more. Right. Is that like the types of queens who you want to see on Drag Race, you don't see on Drag Race as much because they don't get the opportunities to get, a $10,000 runway package pulled together in 2 weeks.
I almost wish that they got stipends every season.
Because it would change the game of the contestants you're seeing, the caliber of drag you're seeing. Because you could also, like, there could be queens who are making, like, things that they've never made in their entire careers because they have the budget to do it. Because, like, some of the most amazing queens in the world, we just don't know their names because, they don't have $10,000 to spare. And, like, I don't know why I keep latching onto that amount of
10
money.
is
I feel like that's
standard.
kind of like an average now.
Yeah.
If not, like, low.
That's, unless you're Raja, who brings $700, or Jada, who brought like 800, I think.
I feel like on average, a lot of the city girls go higher than that now.
Totally. They do thousands and thousands. But I think that's really the problem with Drag Race is, like, I think about all these other competition reality shows, like the ones that Drag Race is riffing off of. Top Model, Project Runway. They never ask the top model girls to bring all their fashion with them and to bring the couture gowns and the well-made outfits so that they can put them on. They don't ask them to give themselves their own makeover. They provide all of that. And Project Runway, they don't ask them to pre-design everything and then run it down the runway. They give them the money to do it there. So, like, why is Drag Race saying this is a drag queen competition, but we expect $1,000 gowns? Because if it's anything less than that, if it came out of a charity shop, we're going to rip you apart that it looks store-bought, that it doesn't look homemade. So it's like, is this a drag competition or is this a high fashion competition? Yeah. Because if it's high fashion, you got to shell out the money for that. Because they're making, like, who was it in Canada? Terra Nova, who was like, I make $35.50 for a gig. Yeah. Like, that's kind of the standard in a lot of places. So.
Yeah. And it's like, again, it's not the idea that, like, these queens we're not seeing don't have it. It's that, like, what's expected of them is, like, impossible to achieve with, like, the resources that are made available to them through our system. But yeah, maybe someday that will change. Fingies cringies.
I mean, on All Stars, they're giving them a stipend. Yeah. Is what I've heard. I think since All Stars 8, they've been giving them like $50K to show up. So, like, if they even gave half of that to the regulars, or even just a quarter, give them 10.
Yeah.
10 is a really workable number if you don't have a lot of money. Like, if someone had given me $10,000 to like get ready for my little like Hamburger Mary's pageant that I did, I would have had the most expensive looking shit.
Yeah, because it's not like these queens are lacking anything, but what is like the expectation level that the show's created, they need to do their part to supplement what the queens already are capable of providing. Because it's like most of these queens already can sew looks for themselves. They can do their own makeup XYZ, but it's like give them more makeup, give them more, you know, fabric, give them
wigs,
give them some assistant seamstresses for things like etc. You know,
I would love to see that drag competition where it's them and their assistants, like what Drag Race was supposed to be.
Yeah, or even like in certain like the last episode, like you get like a seamstress, a makeup artist, and a wig artist.
That would be so cool.
But it's like if you're a seamstress, you're helping the seamstress. If you're a makeup artist, you're leading the direction of how you want your makeup done. If you're a girl who does wigs, then like you're taking the charge on that. So it's like that's what I mean of like supplementing the skills you already have, but like they can also just provide more resources to amplify it for a TV audience.
Yeah, they could put like Layla and like Raja in there and be like, you are experts in your field.
Yeah.
You are here to help make the finale look perfect. Like, that would be fierce.
Well, what a fun way to incorporate alumna, too, to just bring back old queens, like how they're doing with Suki in this coming episode of Canada.
Yeah.
Of just bring back, like, queens who are established in a certain trade, or, like, really, like, showed out on it during their time on the show, and, you know, bring them back as, like, a mentor and aid, whatever capacity you want to put them in. If they're just, like, a workroom fairy. Like,
yes,
you know,
that would even be cool, just to like changing up the standard of mini challenges. Like it's more of a tutorial on something. So like episode 1, like Shea Coulee comes in and shows them how to fiercely walk down the runway. That's the mini.
Yeah.
But like there's no winner or anything. It's just to set them up.
Yeah.
And then they do the main challenge and it's like presentation. And then for like the acting one, Jinx comes in and gives them like a little tutorial and like a TED talk on that. That would be such a cool way of incorporating that.
I love that.
I really think that would be a cool idea. So now let's talk about the finale. We are finally here.
And it's Christmas.
It's, hey sis, it's Christmas.
Was it weird watching this like around Christmas time?
Literally like days after Christmas ended. Yes.
Yeah. You're like, wait, what?
I walked over to Jake and it was like, hey sis, it's Christmas. But I said, but imagine it's CIS. Hey sis, it's Christmas.
Please put that away.
Put that head on your wish list. Who are you rooting for at this point?
You know, I think the first time I was watching, I was actually rooting for Ella.
Me too.
But I think even Garner, I am now a Crystal Versace stan in my old age.
I mean, she's it. But I really was like Team Ella.
It's funny when I was closer to Crystal's age. I stand Ella and not Crystal. Now that I'm closer to Ella's age, I stand Crystal, not Ella.
Because of her work ethic? And how, like, strong she was for her age?
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like maybe my perspective and, like, appreciation, maybe also watching more Drag Race, seeing more younger queens. And realizing, like, how strong she was for her age and, like, the level of, like, professionalism she was bringing in a lot of stuff. And yeah, I think she has had staying power as like an influence as well. And like a presence as a winner. Like for being one that isn't super like present, like she doesn't show up for a lot of stuff, but like Virgo Queen cited her as an inspo last week. I think that was Virgo
couple
Queen,
weeks
wasn't
ago.
it? A couple weeks ago. So like obviously like she's still inspiring the children and like yeah.
So I already knew that Crystal was gonna win. But if I hadn't known that, do you want to know how I knew that Ella was not going to win?
How?
During the sit-downs, RuPaul says, now some people say that if you're a failed actor or actress, you turn to drag. Is that you? I knew in that moment, oh, this bitch doesn't have a chance.
It was very like, so is drag really your passion or is musical theater acting your passion?
Yes.
It was giving very that. They were trying to like hone in on like drag is not your passion.
Ella is almost like a very specific offshoot of the Jan. Like, because there's Like if it's an Oreo and Jan is the like yellow one and then Rose is the crimson one. Ella's that purple psychic one. Like it's another version of the Oreo, but it's not quite a Jan. You know what I mean?
The Janicorio.
The Janicorio. Because like they don't think that Jan is built to do drag either. They think that Rose is, but they almost like hone in more on some of her other talents besides drag.
Yeah.
And like Ella, they praise because she's good at it, but they don't seem to think that it's her lane. Like she's doing something else. And Marsha's kind of like that too. Marsha's in the Ella category of the Janicorio. Marsha's totally in that line because she's not quite a Jan. She's not quite a Rose.
I'm like picturing like the different Oratorio forms like as these women. Like
it's Rose in that big puffer jacket that you hated.
Yeah. Oh god.
The big red one, the rose thing, and then it's Jan in her purple. Let's play some basketball.
Literally, God, I hate it.
And then for Ella, there was one a couple weeks ago that you hated. There was one very specific look you hated.
I was trying to think about it earlier to make reference to it for a haha, and I couldn't even like pull it. But it was for her Expenny Henny, perhaps.
Oh,
might have been that. She wore that black dress with the red hair for
Expenny Henny. So we have Hey Sis, It's Christmas. I thought it was really interesting that Kitty was narrating like 75% of the episode.
She like really dominated this episode.
I was very confused
because it was like her talking and then them talking about Kitty and like her lyrics and stuff. Like it was very Kitty central.
I wonder if she was like slated to win originally and they changed it last minute.
Could you imagine?
I mean, the edit typically supports the ending. So if we are knowing that Crystal's winning, we would get a heavy Crystal edit. They would be talking about her. She would get all the attention. But they focused it all on Kitty.
It was a Kitty red herring.
Yes. I feel like they did that in Canada as well for season 4. I remember like, was it Denim maybe getting a lot of the edit focus?
Yeah.
And then Denim was not the winner. I thought that was interesting. Okay, so my only lines that I remember that I wrote down because I thought they were fun was Ella saying, have an Ella of a Christmas with Ella of a day.
Cute.
I thought that was really cute. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty, mute this part. When they all get down on the ground to do the pouty baby.
Oh,
but she can't because her breastplate is stopping her. And she's sort of just like bouncing off the ground.
Well, and also like
moving.
her back is injured.
This
doesn't make it to the edit, does it? I guess she like injures herself so her back is hurt this episode because also little things like when it's like we're on the mistletoe and she does that like little back bend, she's like supposed to like do more of like a true like back bend, but like this one I remember reading at the time was that she's injured she hurt her back this episode.
Not Ella. Kitty, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. Your pouty baby was great.
Oh, it was a Kitty's pouty baby?
Yeah. Oh, was Ella injured?
Ella was injured.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
No, you can make fun of Kitty's pouty baby.
Did I say Ella? Maybe I did.
I might have mixed that. Well, because you talked about Ella's lines. So I think I was still thinking about her.
No, I may have misspoken.
Kitty and her pouty baby.
It was literally like bounce, bounce, bounce. It was not like the pouty baby.
It was like the breastplate were moon shoes.
Yeah. Yes. Completely. And then Crystal, I didn't remember anything.
Really?
Not a thing. But the candlelight vigil with all of the eliminated queens was quite fun.
I do remember Crystal's verse and I do love it. Get crystallized at Christmas time, but with a K.
Right.
Crystal with a K goes straight to the V. It's time to party with Miss Versace. I mean, it's really
very
like,
surface
it's
level,
very fruity, but I just liked it. It was also like not really Christmassy. It was probably the least Christmas because the other two did more like Christmas like puns and stuff in their parts. But Chris was just like, cunty, get crystallized to the V, yes.
Do the chi-chi. Do it. It's got to happen once this episode. It hasn't happened. and it's applicable.
I just don't know what you're talking about. Do the what? Do the who?
Who? The one we reference every week?
I just couldn't. Also, I feel like I was also, I don't know what I was saying earlier, but when you said Chi-Chi, I was also like, I kind of sound like I was talking like this, and it kind of sounded like her her Maya Angelou.
Oh my God. I don't know why the cage bird
I don't know. But yeah,
So you loved it.
can I just say I loved you in that Christmas song, girl.
Hey sis, it's Christmas, baby.
Can I just say I loved you in Hey Sis, It's Christmas, season 3, episode.
So let's talk about these finale looks. Just of the 3, I don't think any of the eliminated contestants really gagged me, unless it was someone for you.
No. I was gagged in a different way by Charities. I was not expecting Charity to come out as the fossil pterodactyl.
Not at all, but it was really fun. I liked Anubis, actually.
No, Anubis's actually was quite gorgeous. Everyone else was just kind of like fine.
Yeah. Vivacious.
Veronica's like nude with like the one piece over her poof.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about that?
I didn't.
It made me a little nervous. Oh, Victoria did look good.
Yes.
Victoria always looks good.
Yeah.
I did not like Crystal's. Nope. Sorry, Ella's. I did not like Ella's.
I did not.
The purple prom dress.
It was quite inflated. And I thought the like bottom part looked like a balloon that had run out of gas.
Although, to be fair, I didn't really like Kitty's either.
It needed a steamer.
I, at the time, didn't love Crystal's, and I actually enjoyed a lot more, and I enjoyed the most of these 3.
Yeah, me too. I almost kind of loved that, and maybe this is me being a little more Illuminati about this. I like that it was almost like a nod to Raven and Raja and their finales, because they both wore black for their finales, and she cites Raven as being one of her inspirations. And I can only assume that Raja would have been probably too if she had started watching Drag Race at that time.
Yeah.
She would have like seen the most of them. And a lot of her fashion tastes are so powerful. They remind me a lot of Raja. So like I almost kind of like the nod to both of them with being in black as well. It being really sleek, and then the chains on it. It somehow just reminded me of the old school Drag Race.
I love it, and this is like the perfect intersection of like it's glamorous, but it's also like deliciously tacky. Like
Yes.
it's like the pseudo opulence created by layering just like all this random different like shit on top of each other. I really like that aesthetic because she has like the 8 bracelets. She has the like 3 different like belts, like some are gold, some are pearl.
There's
She
a
has,
lot
like,
going
all
on,
the
but
necklaces.
I love it.
I love that like maximalist jewelry idea to create
Yeah.
the like super like jeweled out like vibe.
And underneath the belt too is not something that people normally do.
Yeah, it's so cool. I like it a lot.
I think she
it's
looks
fun.
sleek. She looks like a powerful businesswoman, and that breastplate is just—it never gets old. Sometimes
No.
a lot of queens wear them, and it's like, it's a little bit of a crutch for you. It's not that way for her at
Body's always right.
all. Always. The final lip sync song is "You Don't Own Me."
I was gonna say, is this not a cool lip sync song choice?
So don't tell me what to say.
It's very much a Drag Race UK lip sync song.
It's
I could never
so
see this on
good.
Drag Race US, but this is very Drag Race UK coded.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see it as like a final lip sync.
You know, I would have seen Davina and Vivian doing really well for this.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
then what was the one that they did?
If you're gonna do it right. I'm Your Man by Wham.
Okay, I was gonna say "I'm Your Man" should have been. I think it would have been really fierce with the top 4 from season 2.
And then this one gets I'm Still Standing.
Yes, I think
this group would have done good with I'm Still Standing.
Yeah. Because like this song is a great, and Crystal really killed it. But I could see Davina and Vivian just like chewing this song.
I think Ella and Crystal's performances kind of took me out of it. Because
Totally.
I thought that Crystal was actually going for it in a nice way. And the only times that she broke more comedically was when girls were getting in her way.
Yes.
But otherwise, I thought she tried to give like a good commanding performance of it, which I appreciate. But yeah, I would have liked to see a more old school approach for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny though for the crown and like for the winner role, they were singing to RuPaul like, "You don't own me," like you don't get to tell me like what to do or what to say,
pointing
like,
at her and looking at her,
like as I'm about to like be like your spokesperson and your puppet.
You know, I don't know if this is hateful to say, but Kitty kind of seemed a little unsportsmanlike in this lip sync. She was like bumping into them and getting in their way.
She treated it like a lip sync for your life for sure, not a lip sync for the crown.
Right.
Because also like it's kind of like when Miss Cracker, not in the same way of being unsportsmanlike, but when Miss Cracker did the lip sync for the crown, when she did make you feel, I'm like, this is like the last impression of you before you get crowned the winner.
Right.
So I feel like you also like have to carry yourself in that aspect, which is how I thought Crystal was operating the best. Is like, I feel like there's a certain amount of like poise and presentation you have to give in your like lip sync for the crown.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time it's an exception is in the US one. It's a little different because you're live. I feel like they have to play to the crowd, and they are a little more like competitive lip sync to win when it's live, because it's all about like getting the crowd louder. But when you're in the room to RuPaul or your respective host, I feel like you can have the moment to just give like not even a park and park, but just give like a commanding performance.
Totally.
So.
Yeah, this was such a good final lip sync. I just don't know if it was for this group, but I agree with what you said. Crystal wins. I was not totally surprised because I already knew, but like I really thought Ella had some strong points, but also Crystal was really good all season.
It is interesting, though, how she doesn't win any challenges in the latter half, but still wins. She has a super strong start and then just, like, wins at the end. Yeah.
It's a Lawrence Chaney. It's literally the Lawrence Bimini, because Ella doesn't do very well through the beginning. She's just there. Yeah. And then suddenly, like, we hit that girl group challenge and she skyrockets.
And that's also something about Drag Race in general is, like, if you're not established within the first couple episodes, it's like not really there for you, you know?
Yeah.
Because like we always see that, because even I remember this most recent US season, like, no, well, not Saphira, because she won the first episode, but like there's something about like, oh no, it was because it was Nymphia. It was like, they were like, people were like taking like infographics of how many confessionals, because it was Nymphia didn't get a lot of confessionals. She won the challenge, that second challenge, so people are like, oh well, she won challenge, so she could still win. But then people are like, no, she's not going to win because she's not getting this amount of confessionals, she's not getting this amount of screen time. But I feel
like Maya was narrating, right?
Yeah, and I just feel like the show measures so much in the first half. Some of that might have to do with like how they strategize like viewership and like catering it to the first couple of episodes to keep momentum. But it very much feels like if you don't make a strong impression the first 4 or 5 episodes and you're not getting steady like time, then like even if you like absolutely killed in the latter half, it like with how Drag Race is set up, it's very unrealistic.
Totally, which is weird. I feel like if you are building up momentum as the season goes and people are whittling off, that should mean that you were doing well all season. You just took a minute to get your stride. That should count for something.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I'm like, I really like what Crystal did all season.
Yeah,
she really was
like
that girl.
Did bad. It's not like she like petered out.
Yeah, and she easily could have won the ball. She could have totally won the ball.
Totally. No, I agree. That's true. And then maybe people would have looked at her win differently if she had had 3 wins to Ella's 4 and had that win then. Yeah. Might have been different.
Maybe.
That was the other thing with Ella's 4 badges, no bottoms.
That's crazy. Is that not? Because Bimini only had the 1. And Cheddar has 4 badges, no bottoms, I think.
Yeah, so her and Cheddar have the same track record, essentially.
But the 4 badge girls, all in a row.
Wait, and then Danny was never in the bottom? Danny was never in the bottom.
I don't think so either.
Were Danny and Cheddar both never in the bottom? That's crazy.
I think they were probably the first 2 finalists. They never made it there.
This is such a stacked season.
Because Davina didn't lip sync either, right? I don't think Davina lip
No,
sync.
she did not.
Where everyone in top 4 of 2 did. And I think it was of this one, only Ella didn't. And then in 4, both of them didn't. So they would have been the first in the franchise.
Oh wait, was Kitty in the bottom 2? I don't think Kitty was ever in the bottom 2 either, was she?
Oh, maybe she wasn't.
I think because Vanity lip synced so many times, and then there was a top 2, it like circumvented the necessary like one front runner having to lip sync like they usually do.
I think you're right. I don't think she ever did either.
So Crystal was the sacrifice, because you know, at the end of the season, the one girl's track record gets sacrificed, and they have to do that one lip sync to make it through.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a rite of passage for a front runner, I feel.
How much of a gag would it have been if Kitty had won, though?
Girl,
that would have been such a gag, because the episode seems to imply that that's who was going to win.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I
couldn't imagine.
Can't fathom it.
No.
Okay, so we're at the end of this. Question that I always have to ask: who do you want to see from this cast on either Versus the World or a global?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I mean Ella. I think Ella would be fun.
We've had a lot of people. This is almost the All-Stars 6 season 2. What was the one that we were just talking about? The one that's like a springboard for other things. It was All-Stars 6. This is almost the 6, because like we have Vanity, we have Kitty, we have Choriza,
which sorry, I'm yawning. All 3 of those are different franchises, which is so crazy. Well, because they can't get on UK.
Yeah.
UK All-Stars. See you never.
Can't believe we haven't gotten that.
Oh yeah, and then also Victoria.
Victoria's gone. Yeah, it seems like a springboard for other things.
Yeah, it is interesting. Who's next?
But you'd want to see Ella.
Yeah, I would like to see Ella. Of course, I like to see. God, I can't talk. I like to see Charity.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what franchise would be most accepting to Charity. Like, should she be on Canada? Maybe Charity could be fun on Canada.
They did it Down Under Versus the World. I feel like Charity would fit in with a lot of the Down Under girls.
And then Michelle hosting.
Yeah.
That would be honestly kind of cute. I feel like Charity would say no, but that'd be cute.
Even just like a US Versus the World. I would love for them to just bring it here and like do maybe multiple global all-stars a year and just have every judge rotate in and out.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Or oh my gosh, yeah. It's like the Olympics and a different country hosts global all-stars.
Oh, that could be fun.
So it's like next season is like global all-stars hosted in France.
That would be so cool. And then Nikki's the host.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like Spain hosts it and it's Supreme.
That would be super cool.
So then also they could get like, if they have like English queens who speak French, stuff like that, like bring the American like exports to these countries where they could compete, as opposed to us always doing the opposite.
Yeah. You know what I would love to see actually, high key, would be like maybe every couple of months do a special where it's like a ball.
Yeah.
Where it's like something very, very specific, where it'd be like a lip sync ball, a fashion ball, some type of like improv thing where it's like snatch game, roast, some other type of like improv challenge, and then bring in the best of the best from each season and just do like a short 1 episode ball with one person winning.
Yeah, like a big like hour and a half episode.
Yeah, big power hour of like all the best competitors across the franchises, like 16, they all compete. Give them a like $50,000 cash prize, send them on their way.
Period.
I would love to see that. And then like combine it all into one like Food Network, like chopped all-stars type situation.
Yeah.
Where like then the winner of each one of those at the very end, like we'll all compete
the tournament
in one
of
big
champions.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So then it'd be like different girls each time. That'd be really cool. I think for me, I would probably, I do love Ella a lot. I would love to see her come back. I think just the way that it shook out for her, and it's not that I'm even like a big stan or anything, but I think she deserves to have like a stipend and a budget to do Drag Race properly, would be Veronica.
Oh, I thought you were going to say River.
River too. I love River Midway.
Because I also do think River could I think that like she could have another shot and like
Mm-hmm.
probably crush it. But yeah, Veronica, she does really deserve like a proper second chance, because that's the thing is like this was supposed to be her second chance, but didn't even feel like she got a second chance.
No.
Like, it feels like she needs a second chance for her second chance.
Yeah. This felt like the second half of what UK2 is going to be.
Yes. Right? Like, I don't know.
Any controversial opinions before we end?
Vanity can wear as much orange as she wants.
Fully agree. Let the girl wear orange.
Let the girl wear orange. Anything else? Honestly, like, it's not like, I feel like there wasn't a lot of like whack stuff going on this season. Like, things were pretty agreeable for the most part, at least in the episodes that we discussed. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Ella kind of dominated this latter half, but like I agreed with most of her wins in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you would disagree with the Fugly ball, but like I don't know. I agree with a lot of the choices made in this last chunk of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the most controversial opinion. I don't think you should ever do a holiday for a final song.
It kind of landlocks it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's saying as someone who watches How the Queen Mopped Christmas like probably like 30 times. But like, I don't know. It's just the girls suffer because they lose the replayability of that song.
Totally.
Because like I always feel bad for the girls who like, especially when people around them get a way better one. Although season 2 finale song sucked. The mix was just so bad.
It was really bad.
But like, and the mix on this one was great. It sounded good, but it was like, it's a Christmas song. No one's gonna listen to this.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they were trying really hard to like re-solidify the Christmas special because the holiday was what it was. And it was fine, but a lot of it was unmemorable.
Yeah.
I would have rather them had just done a regular ass lip sync, do it what it was, and then just brought in all the UK girls for one holiday episode.
Yeah.
Holiday in the UK.
Yeah. I love it.
That would have been fun.
That would be cunty.
I love it.
I love it. Oh.
So next week we are talking Canada 2.
Hell yeah.
I hardly remember this season. I don't remember it at all.
That was her bubble. I shouldn't have been there. Cynthia Kiss. Are you ready? Are you ready to get synthesized?
I remember loving her in the Snatch Game.
I remember loving her every minute I saw her. I truly love Cynthia Kiss so much. I loved her from the minute I saw her. We'll have to talk about it more when we get there. I freaking love her. Can I just say I love Cynthia Kiss? Cynthia Kiss, baby.
Oh, so you didn't know how to do that line earlier when you were talking about your stand.
Suddenly, I remember. It all came back to me.
Celine Dion?
There were not. Nope.
That was like Cher. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in and listening to us chat about Drag Race UK Season 3. We will see you next week for a Canada season. And then we're almost done. We're almost out of the woods of 2021. We are so close.
Now we're about to be like, it's 2024. The
We've gone
person
back in
listening to
time.
this, it's 2025.
It's well into it. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.
I was doing Baby YOLO.
You